Welcome to Tinker Club. My name is Leigh-Anne Nugent, and we are here again with
Micah Adler.
welcome again. At Tinker Club, we believe that everyone is a builder. And with the amount of applications that we are seeing come to market, this is a place where we come together, test out all of these different tools, validate the business application, whether or not it's worth pursuing to include in an overarching tech stack at an organization. But really, we're playing a lot of the time. So if you are ever interested in playing along with us, you're welcome to join us, myself or Micah, and we would love to have you. All right, Micah, what have you got on your plate?
For sure. I have some interesting stuff that I tinkered with on HubSpot, and I will
Oh,
share
cool.
my screen in a second and show you exactly what I did. So this is, where is it? Hold on one second. Let me get rid of this and then, okay. So I connected HubSpot. HubSpot is a CRM, and
Okay.
I'm using that for my daily contacts and reaching out to people and doing stuff like that. But what
Mhm.
I did is I connected an MCP server because
Mm.
HubSpot offers a new connector through an MCP server with Claude. So you can either use it with
Oh,
Claude or you can use it with other applications as well that use MCP servers. But to set up the MCP server, you do it through the command line, and it's like a two-step process, not too difficult.
okay.
And you just set it up. And it took me, I would say, approximately 5 minutes, and I had one like system error, and then I fixed it. And then it's the most difficult part is getting the token from HubSpot. So there's a secret token that you need to get from HubSpot to connect them.
Okay.
So this is the tool. This is Claude, and this is the Claude which resides on my computer.
Okay.
So
You downloaded it.
yeah,
Okay.
I downloaded it. So the cool thing is you can ask. So like for example, it's just like a conversation. So like with your HubSpot, you're conversing. So what are the contacts that I uploaded last week? And then, oh no, no, I should have said with HubSpot.
Let's just see what it says.
Oh yeah, so it did. So now it's going through my HubSpot, and
I've been just to, sorry to interrupt. So I have been playing with direct commands in my prompt without adding any context or any rule or anything like that. I'm just like, this is what I want you to do. And I just want to see if it can start to infer and make like some assumptions on how it should respond.
uh-huh.
So I've been doing very direct prompts like that with no context, and I've been getting pretty decent responses.
Yeah, so like it went into my contacts, and now it's looking at all of my,
Wow.
yeah, all of the people.
Yay, one contact for me.
I'm gonna switch out of that. But
Mm.
then if I go to, for example, is there any notes in my in Leigh-Anne Nugent's Nugent's contacts for HubSpot? The crazy thing is you can just ask it anything. Like it's not like the old commands where you have to phrase it in some way or do something. You can say, for example, can you just delete all the notes? And it will say, sorry, I can't delete them, but I can cross them out. Like,
Yeah.
can you,
Wow.
this person, so it's going to check and see if
That's
they're,
amazing.
yeah. So it just, it's, oh my God.
As we think about the future of applications, right? And we at TSIA, one of the big issues was stovepipe data, which
Mhm.
is basically saying working in silos. We've got systems that are disjointed. And The idea was integration will feed your data through. And then the next layer was, oh, create a data lake and feed and create integration to put all of your systems into a data lake to centralize your data. But then how do you visualize and interact with said data? Now we've got a really great engagement layer based off of how people actually want to interact with the data. That's really cool.
Then the other thing is, okay, so well, it doesn't have that.
Yep.
So then what was your email?
I think maybe is there no E at the end of "and"?
Oops. Oops.
I don't know.
No.
Let's check that first. It's gotta
Uh,
be exact,
sorry
no
about
fuzzy
that.
matching. But that's okay. I
Emergent.
did that on purpose, not correcting you on purpose because I wanted to see what happens, so sorry. Real life social experiment in the making.
You check if there are any notes, and if there are no notes, then can you add a reminder to
Yeah,
move the meeting next week to Tuesday instead of Monday?
perfect.
Yeah.
Nice, love that.
So,
I love that. This is how people work.
oh, this
And
is it.
now, because remember, and if we went, so because I'm Salesforce person, like I would have to go into Salesforce, I would have to look for the contact, I would have to read all the notes, I would have to create a reminder if there weren't any notes. Like it's just so much easier to say. Very cool. So this is just a connector that HubSpot has. Nice.
Yeah, this is an MCP
With a
server.
key at the end. Look at that. Are you listening to us, Cloud? Are you listening?
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's just there are moments that you're like, "Wait, this is not how I interacted with Salesforce, and this is not how I interacted with HubSpot," and,
Exactly.
like, it's doing everything for me,
Yeah.
and it's doing it correctly, and it's doing it even though I made a slight error, which is crazy. So,
Yeah.
like, it said, "Did you mean this? Did you mean that?"
Yeah.
And then it will
There
just
might not be a contact here. It looks like there's no contact, but the email address is there.
yeah, the email address is there, so that may be an issue.
Yeah.
But
But again, like this still goes back to the one admin thing that you can never get away from. It's the quality of your data, right? So, what are your key data points that you have to always have clean in your system? I guess like a data management or clean your room, data hygiene practice needs to be taken into consideration here. So, as you review all the new contacts, do I have to enrich any of these data points? Like, what? Yeah. So, LAN,
so let's try that.
yeah,
L
LAN at tinkertimelabs.com
is available.
is in the database or something.
Yeah, is in the
Yeah.
database, and can you update it with the requested notes? So one more time, and then
Mm.
we'll stop for that. But anyway, it interacts. Great. I found a contact, and then
Oh,
it will
great.
ask you.
Okay.
So I'll say always allow, and it will ask you. So I found the contact, and then within that contact, it's going to
Yeah.
no
Perfect.
notes. Since there's no notes, it's going to add a reminder.
Perfect.
So then within there, it's adding the reminder.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's this, it just makes so much sense. And it shows you like a fraction of what the future is going to be. There was one other thing I was going to show really quickly here. So these are like, so within ChatGPT, this is a little bit of a different thing. But within ChatGPT, you can look for different contacts. So then I said,
Yes.
I want contacts, US contacts, which I said the original. So this was funny, the iteration that I went through.
It's so funny because we literally did this on Saturday. The exact same thing. We discovered this.
So this is cool, right? That it does this. So I said, I want you to format mission send. So initially I just asked for the contacts and it gave me
Yeah.
all these contacts, right? And then in order to upload the contacts plus the mission statement and then automate things. So once I get it into HubSpot with the mission statement, the contact, and the email, then I just press one button and it all goes. So that, and then I have my email set up, right? So to do that. But the one issue that I did have is that the initial call for contacts gave me contacts basically that were a little bit older. So that was not good. So then I had to say, hey, can you update the contacts to 2025 contacts, the newest ones? So when I initially uploaded these, so the cool thing about this is you can take this entire thing. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'll just show you an example. If I can go to the bottom real quick. So if I go here and then I take this here and I'm going to copy it like that. And then I go to, we're going to go back to this part. And then I'll just say, can you add these contacts to
No way.
HubSpot, please? Wait,
Wow.
I'm gonna go back and get a better version of this from the very top. Here, this is Los Angeles. Okay. So it's gotta give me, I want to copy the entire table.
Including the header, the
Yeah,
title.
this is what I wanted. So then here,
Oh, it's in a canvas though, right?
yeah. No, it's not in a canvas. It would be better if it was in a canvas.
Yeah.
So if I said, I would have to say, put this in a canvas. So put this in canvas, please.
What's that
Canvas.
little arrow though at the bottom, or though that copy button?
Which one?
There's like a copy by paste button right above where you're typing, the little
Oh,
one
this?
down. Yeah,
I can try that.
yeah. Let's see.
But what I wanted to do is usually when you drop it in, yeah, there. Okay. So can you add these contacts to HubSpot, please?
Okay. Let's see.
So if you go like this, and then it's going to start to add them
Hmm.
to HubSpot. So then basically all that work that I did in one shot, it's going to go through all the nonprofits that I
Mhm.
had, add them. Plus, it's going to add the as well. So everything that I had requested. So that's
Oh, that's so good.
about 100 contacts that it's just going to add,
Yeah, of
which is much easier than downloading the CSV file, than uploading the
course.
CSV file to HubSpot. And then at the same time, yeah, so it's added contacts and then it does it in batches as well, which is cool. And then it just continues on. So like it could add one contact at a time, but then it's, oh, excellent. This is too large. So then I'm going to do it in a batch again. So it figures out what the process should be. Like, so it's using its capabilities. But anyway,
Yeah.
so this is just going to go on and
Yep.
we don't need to watch it, but it's doing it, which is cool.
That's really great.
Yeah.
Really great.
Yeah. So that was my quick
Very
presentation.
cool.
Yeah.
All
MCP
right. So I'll
server.
share mine.
Yeah.
So for me, I've been on a business clarity type of exercise. Part of the reason why is I created this TSIA executive brief, and I want to use it as a lead magnet, right? Like a lead magnet to say to people, this is how Tinker Time Labs can help you. Okay, as I start going that, like, all of a sudden eyes are going to be on me, my website. So I'm just going through a whole like branding audit. Is our messaging clear? Hold on. What is our messaging? And I'm also reading traction. So there's a lot of really great tools in there. We're just starting. So we're in the vision section. So we did all of the exercises in the vision section to get very clear on who we are, what our values are, what we plan to offer, all of those things. And I leveraged Manus to help me with that. So Manus AI or Manus.im is no different than ChatGPT, but it's also got a little bit of a lovable type of thing going on too. So I played around and I was like, okay, if this is my big, hairy, audacious goal, like, what do you know about Tinker Time Labs? So it started to put in and create all of these files for me. So it did an analysis, it created all this like a strategy. And then what it did, let's just scroll a little bit down to the bottom. I don't think it's here. I think it continued on over here. Yeah, because like I gave it branding, I gave it my logo, and then it created a portal for me. What?
That's
So
so
I was
cool.
like, okay, that's interesting. And I'm like, I'm playing here because I have no idea what any of this stuff means. This is all just both the AI and I are hallucinating here. And I'm just in a what does this tool do kind of thing? And how can it help me launch my business? Right. And so I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And also, I want to be able to share with people like who we are, like a business plan kind of thing, who we are, what we want to do, and like what our intention is. So this was like a landing space for to communicate Single Time Labs and our
That
vision. I thought that was pretty interesting. I can edit anything in here and then I can save it.
that's
Well,
cool.
yeah, and then I was like, "Okay, I need something simple. Let's get back to, like, real life." So I created another prompt, and I was like, "Okay, let's create a different one. I just need, like, where are we today? Don't let's get out of, like, the dream state, and let's get into where are we today?" Like, just a comprehensive analysis, like, our canvas analysis. Who are we? So, we're and it's still a little bit like as highlighting the company's strategic shift from project management to product management, but it's still not like our vision and all of that stuff. So where we're at now is I want to put all of the VTO stuff that my business partner and I did last night with traction and refeed it into here to actually make this our vision statement. It's got our ideal customer profile, our industry focus. What are the functional jobs to be done for our clients and their emotional jobs to be done? What's their marketing avatar? Like just getting really clear on who our target audience is, how we're going to communicate to people. It puts all of this in there.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of these pieces here seem to be true still. The last piece is the vision because the key with traction was can everybody speak to the mission or
Mm,
and sorry, speak to the vision. And then like my story changes all the time depending on who I talk to because I'm speaking to what I think those people want to hear as opposed to speaking my truth. And I
mm,
haven't moved into that space because I wasn't clear and I'm still not clear. So we're still formulating that. And I just through repetition, like I know we're going to get there and through practice. And the more we communicate with people, which I think is why you have to communicate with what's the magic number 20 people a day.
yeah, at
So if you
least.
could at least, so if you communicate with that many people every day, you're stating who you are, what you do, what your goals are, and it becomes ingrained and then it just becomes the thing. So that's probably the reason why it's taking me so long because I'm not doing the outreach that you're doing or attempting to do.
Yeah.
Oh, barf.
I do feel like it's like a chicken and the egg thing.
Right.
So we really want to complete like this part, and I'm doing the same thing, but wait for this part to be complete. But the reality is that it probably is not going to be completed. And when I ask like some other people, so you have a successful business, now you're there and everything's complete, right? And they're like,
No. And
actually,
there are some people right now who are totally redoing their business
yeah,
because the way that businesses are being run right now, as you just saw, as demonstrated, like we're running our businesses completely differently. People are buying differently. They want things a lot faster and a lot clearer. So I don't know. So now that I have this, I thought this was pretty incredible,
Yeah, it is.
but I don't know where all of this is housed or stored. I no idea,
Yeah, that
right? It's not like Lovable where I can just get access to the data and GitHub. So it was able, like with all look at this, all of this. And part of the reason for all of these, it's still the same activity, but it's the current task has reached its limit. So you have to inherit everything and start a new conversation. And then, oh, this one ran out. Okay, got to start a new conversation. Got to start. So after all of this, like I created, yeah, it was insane.
and yeah, I did look at the URL because like when you were showing the website, I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
where is this being hosted? And it was Manus dot something. Oh yeah, it's something Manus dot space, which is interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. So I'm still figuring out like what is this space? What is this V thing? And where is this exactly? And there is a place where like I could repoint it. Like this is now the URL. So now I can host this on my domain. Allegedly, that's what Manus is saying. So now like Manus is hosting all of this stuff for me,
Hmm.
but is it? Like, so I guess that's where I'm at. Is it actually like lovable? I'm not really sure yet. So I'm still in this playing phase. So here I am thinking, oh, maybe it'd be cool. Like it created this framework for me. So we could have totally just gone through our exercise. Like instead of doing it, oh, I don't know if I have it here. Instead of doing it on the Word document or the PDF workbook that I created with ChatGPT, like I actually created this app and I've got this get coach, like it built this whole thing. And this is based off of, I'm calling out that this is from the right book. Like I'm trying not to steal any stuff. Like it designed this whole thing. So
That's
you could,
amazing.
it's a pretty cool thing. Now, there are some tools out there already that can help you do this, but why would I do that when I can A, test my capabilities using these tools and push the boundaries with these tools? Like, this is pretty cool. And then you can generate the PDF of all of the documents, but I don't even know if this worked. Like, I prepped it and I haven't figured it out. The other piece is just because I save this, can anybody use this? Like my friend added her values. I don't see her values. She left the URL and came back and it's still there. Like those values persisted.
Oh,
So
interesting.
how did it know that's her? And what's going to happen when I add the people module and add the process module? And I have no idea. But I don't know. I thought this was interesting. Like it created all of this. It was just so fast.
Yeah, like those kind of things, you're like, it's amazing, and it does all this for you. And then the
Yeah,
questions come, okay, so where is it housed? How do I
exactly.
utilize it? Like all these other questions. So the
Yep.
initial reaction, oh my God, this is amazing. And these are amazing,
Yeah.
but how do you utilize this type of technology? So I think it's almost like there, but at the end, like theoretically, what it should say is, would you like to house this on your website?
Yeah.
They will transfer everything over. So it's not on Manus because like I don't want my website on Manus. So
I know. Exactly. So I like there's some zip files here that I'm like, just give me all of the code. And so now I'm in the phase of, okay, so now let's upload that into my GitHub. And am I able to access that with VS Code? I don't know. Do I actually have this code or not? I haven't. I saw the folder structure, but I haven't been able to upload it to GitHub successfully.
yeah, no, I've found transferring from certain programs to like, for example, GitHub, VS Code or Cursor, things get complicated. And yeah, so like
You got to fix stuff. No.
it,
All in the interest of learning the new tools. So really cool. And then also, how does it interact with what we know today? Right. So we're learning every single day with all these tools. It's overwhelming for sure. But if you don't take a playful approach, then it doesn't have to be overwhelming. It can be fun. We just have to put a time limit on how long we're spending here because we're going to spin our wheels. And as we identified in our VTO on Sunday last night, distractions are one of the, like, it's the biggest issue right now.
Yeah.
And is it still adding value? Sure. But we've got a really big financial issue right now, right? We have to start getting some revenue in here. We need our offerings clear and we got to get going.
Yeah.
And right, the more we play with this stuff, great, that's cool. But at the same time, is it moving the dial forward? So, one of the values that I had as the initial scratch pad was commercially minded, which basically means like, is this activity actually improving the bottom line, whether it's saving us money or generating revenue for us?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think that's why, again, when I was speaking with Graham, he suggested, hey, just do the outreach and make sure you at least complete that. And
Mhm.
that's the minimum that you just must do. And then,
Yeah,
like, when I showed him the MCP server, he's okay, that's really cool, really amazing. Yeah. But did you do the outreach? And I'm like, oh,
that's right.
yeah. So,
Yeah, so it's tough, right? Like we like to tinker.
yep.
That's where we light up and we have fun. We love showing people what we're doing. It's just, yeah. And so now what we should be doing is, I think what we could do is just do a better job of communicating these classes. You do such a good job of uploading, of posting this. So I'll start doing the same. I do upload the recordings as soon as I get them, but sometimes it's a day delayed. But yeah, like just got to do a better job. And we can use our recordings as, an incentive to spark conversations. Because, like, sometimes people do want to know that we're building stuff. That's part of our shtick, I think.
No, I agree. Maybe for this week, for example, if I'll do last week's, maybe if you do it and then you add it to LinkedIn,
Mhm.
then we could have, for me to post two in 1 week, it's just not going to get, I don't feel traction. Maybe
Mhm.
I'll do
We'll
one.
do one each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we can do it like that.
Okay. And from a marketing perspective, too, I started looking at that, right? So we do still have to do our direct outreach, but we should also do passive outreach, which is this LinkedIn thing. So I started to put together like a 30-day plan and how I would rotate all of the things that we have, right? So from an offering perspective, like we've got Tinker Club, we've got office hours, we've got like some structured consulting offerings from a diagnostic to like a strategy session to, again, like this is the offering piece that we need to formulate and then work on our pricing. But yeah, like that's got to be the path forward, I think. Oh, we also have art of leading, which is the leadership side of things. And I want to make sure that our message is clear that we are business transformation consultants, but really it's about, see, and here's the practice, right? Like we're looking to sustainably connect people, process, and technology. That's really what we're trying to do. And we do that through innovation, we do that through training, we do that through workshops. That's the path that we're going. And we just have to practice that messaging.
Continuously over multiple years.
Yeah, exactly. Life of an entrepreneur continues. And yeah, so this is a place where we can share what we're building in our businesses, how we're taking business best practice and applying it, and even sharing the emotional roller coaster that goes along with it. So, again, if you would like to join us, please join us and we can continue having these conversations together.
Very
All
cool.
right. See you later. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.